Hi there, my name is Syed Wasi and I'm a professional English language trainer in Bangladesh. I'm also the authorized PTE trainer in the authorized PTE test center in Bangladesh. Today I'm going to give you some extremely useful tips for describe image. And right after watching this video, your chances of scoring in describe image will be much higher, because the things I'm going to tell you will be quite beneficial for you if you are going to sit for PTE soon. Before I start the main part, let me tell you that I have scored 90 in all modules. As you can see in the screenshot, I've scored 90 in everything: speaking, writing, reading and listening, and overall definitely 90. So I believe that whatever I'm going to tell you will be the experience of a 90 scorer, so you can take whatever I tell you for granted as tips and techniques for answering describe image. I will also be covering some other parts of PTE in some other sessions. So the first thing I'm going to tell you regarding describe image is that you must not panic. Some people, out of panic basically, they try to speak really fast. But speaking really fast will not give you marks. In fact, this is going to cost you marks. That means that will reduce your marks if you try to speak really fast. So some of my learners who have sat for the test, some of them have done really good, but some claim that I'm an excellent speaker. Still I scored badly in the speaking session, especially for the describe image part. They feel that. So I have come to know after diagnosing their problems that they try to speak really fast, or generally they speak really fast. But in PT, since your performance will be scored by a computer, you cannot speak really fast because the computer has to understand everything you say. But does it mean that you can speak quite slow or think a lot and hesitate? No. It's all about spontaneity. Like just the way I'm speaking now, that is a natural flow of speech. So you have to go with the natural flow of your speech, not too fast nor too slow. You cannot hesitate so much, but sometimes the sound though you shouldn't be using but some little hesitations are quite normal for your speech, because these are counted as normal parts of conversation or dialogue. So you don't have to worry about that, but you have to maintain the flow. So how to solve this big problem of describe image, which is the toughest task in PTE in speaking? Remember, you only have 25 seconds for preparation. Some people try to prepare the whole speech in these 25 seconds, which is impossible. So what you have to do is, like, just in these 25 seconds, use your observation power, look at the image carefully, take out the main elements from the image and make a topic sentence in the mind to start with. And how to take the main elements? This is quite simple. Every time you look at an image provided to you, you have to look at the top of it, on the left, on the right and at the bottom, because the main elements including the heading is given in all these four positions. That is guaranteed. So you have to carefully look at these four positions to look for the heading and the main parts. With the heading you will see some percentage or some currency like million, thousands, or it could be like minute, every day, or for something, these things will be given. Also there could be a time or there couldn't be a time given at the bottom. On the right side there may be some other information. So you have to look at all those directions and find out the key elements from there, and taking these things you have to make a topic sentence in the mind within those 25 seconds. So all these things have to be done in 25 seconds, and that's not a big job if you try. And remember, do not copy the heading directly. Try to change the heading in a different way, or if you cannot use a complete different language for the heading, just try to shift the order of the words. For example, if you see the heading revenue projection for Center for Innovative Language Learning in 2008, this is what the heading says. So you just change it a bit, just shifting the order. Like there you see revenue projection, here you say projection of revenue for Center for Innovative Language Learning in the year 2008. So you have to slightly change the heading. If you can change it in your own way completely, then you get better marks even. So you take the heading, take the elements, prepare the topic sentence. I'm going to show you an example of topic sentence with an image. Here that, see the image, here the topic sentence now. The image here shows a schedule for different sessions for a language college in 2 different time slots for over a week. Alright, so as we have got an example of a topic sentence, and you have seen that this is a table which contains lots of information. And it's not possible to talk about everything there in 40 seconds. It's not even possible in probably 2 minutes. So what do? You just group information together. And for the topic sentence, you just mention the main parts here. Like it's a schedule for different sessions of a language college for over a week and in 2 different time slots. In the topic sentence, you do not mention anything in details. Then you come to details. But remember that you cannot afford to talk about everything, as I have told you. So what do? You just group. As you can see in the table, I'm showing you again on the screen that for the first lot, for the first few days, almost all the sessions are English language sessions. So you can just mention them all together. You will see a sample later once I've finished talking the first part of this image. So you can know how to talk about an image which contains a lot of information there. Okay, so first you have to understand the image, looking at all the positions I've told you, then form a topic sentence in the mind within 25 seconds, and at the start of the recording give the topic sentence first. Then what to do next? Of course, you have to understand which are the main elements or main points of the image, because covering the main points will give you more marks. But remember, let me tell you something good, that you don't have to worry so much about being 100% accurate. Slightly different information doesn't actually make a difference at all. You just keep talking. So take the main elements. The main points are basically, say, the main differences, main similarities, biggest, smallest, closest, farthest. These are the things. See the image here. If you see the image here, it shows that it shows the energy consumption of energy in 2007 by 2 different areas of America, and they are north and south, right? So how to take out the main points from there? So target for the highest or lowest first. That is a good idea. For example, both the regions, North America and South America, have consumed oil at the highest rate. For North America it is 41%, and for South it is 45%. So this is their highest consumption, oil. And then the lowest, but that is different for both these 2 regions. So for the lowest is nuclear power for South America, while it is hydroelectric for North America. So you can mention that. If you have time, then mention other supporting elements. So this is the idea, like, cover the main points first, and then if you have time, then you cover the supporting points. And the idea is that the information, any image that contains a lot of information, you just take the main points and try to speak up to 40 seconds. But do not exceed 40 seconds, remember. That is the point number 3. Do not exceed 40 seconds, because if you cannot finish in 40 seconds, the very last sentence of your speech will be considered as incomplete by the computer, because that your recording will abruptly stop. So you have to finish it carefully. And point number 4, you don't have to give any formal conclusion. Just finish it, finish your speech mentioning the points as much as you can. So, but the additional tip is that keep talking, and keep talking with a natural flow. Don't be too fast, don't be too slow. Do not hesitate so much. But some sounds are quite natural, because it's a part of your speech and dialogue. Don't worry about that. So don't panic. So these are the things I have to tell you. If you remember these things, you will do very good in describing image. But a lot of it depends on practice. You have to practice, taking some time. So now let's hear a number of samples from me. Remember, the copyright of these samples are mine, but you can use it anywhere, any way you want. The image here shows a schedule for different sessions for a language college in 2 different time slots for over a week. As I can see in the image, day 1 is basically the inauguration part for the first half of the day, followed by English language and other sessions. For day 2, 3, and 4, for the first half there is only English language class, and for the second half there are some other sessions including social activity on site. And for day 5 there are some practical workshops, and on day 6 and day 7 there is nothing. It's basically the weekend for homestay with families. The graph here shows a comparison of earnings and unemployment for people with different educational degrees in 2012. Interestingly, people with less than a degree for high school diploma had the highest rate of unemployment at 12.4%, while the earning for them was at the minimal at 471. And the average unemployment rate for them was 6.8%, while the average earning for people with different professional degrees was $815, with doctoral degree, professional degree, master's and bachelor's degree at the highest rate of earning. The graph here shows a data of internet users for different countries around the world in 2008. Interestingly, China and US had the highest number of users, which was more than 150 millions, and next to Japan with around 50 million internet users. But for other developed countries like Germany, UK, France, India, Russia, and Brazil, they had more or less 30 million internet users. And for other countries like Italy, Spain, and others, they had minimal, which was around 25 millions. The graph here shows a comparison of poverty rates according to different ages in two different genders, and they are male and female in 2012. Interestingly, the elderly people aged 65 and older, they had the lowest rate of poverty at 11% for female and 6.6% for male. While for the youngest group, which is 18, the poverty level was the highest. For female it was 22.3%, and for male it was 21.3%. On the other hand, the age group from 18 to 64, they had moderate level of poverty from 15.4% and 11.9%. This is a diagram showing how a taxi service providing company operates. Customers can mainly book taxis in two ways, one over phone and the other online. For online booking, you can just book a taxi which reaches the workstation desktop for the operator, who then contacts the taxi server for the taxi service. So on the other hand, the customers can also make a booking over phone which reaches the operator, who directly contacts the taxi service provider, and the taxi service server actually sends a message to their different transports as required for service.